Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
I knew my entire life was going to be a struggle.
Is that hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times.
You do what you got to do, but you survive. You survive and become a better man. A better man, a stronger man, a wiser man, a more tempered man, and a better man. Okay?
So what I say to men is, look, life's hard, it's always going to be hard, it's always going to it always has. The only way to get out is to become excellent and perform at a level where your echelon is so high that you get to live this brand new experience. You need to become strong and smart and interesting and charismatic. You need to become rich, powerful, well-known, connected. You need to do it.
It'll be easier for next time for you to stand up, man up, and admit it. I did it.
Forced to suffer the discipline today, so you never suffer the form of regret tomorrow. That's what the it's about.
Like, when do you become a man? You become a man when you become responsible for other people. And part of that is taking accountability.
He said, people think that you should be weak and you should be docile and then you should be a pacifist. He goes, no, you should be a monster. He said, you should be a monster, you should be ruthlessly ambitious, and then learn how to control it.
And the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow.
It's not work, man. It's love. When you love something, you put your passion behind it and pay your dues every day. You set trends, man. You don't follow them. You set the fucking trends.
All right, you're going to fall. You're a human. There's no excuse for falling. It seems like a paradox. It's not a paradox, okay? But you've got to forgive yourself.
You're a tough guy, and you tell the truth. But it's both of those together that's what's doing it, because, you know, people don't look at you and think like holier than thou preacher. That isn't what they think. They think tough guy who's trying to figure things out. Like, right on. That's good. You're a good figure for the times, because this whole war against the phallogocentrism, you know, calls forward people who are like you, if we're lucky. And those are guys who have this warrior end, because, you know, you're a fighter. So, if you're going to be a fighter, you have to want to win. And you have to want to hurt people. I mean, not for the sake of hurting them. That's what makes you different than an evil person. But you have to have that capacity. You have to develop that. And, you know, that's the step on the way to enlightenment, weirdly enough, because that isn't what people think.
So if you're not the person who's waking up every day going, how do I improve my existence? Then nobody is. Nobody on the planet is considering improving your one spin on Earth.
No one else cares.
Nobody else cares. So if you don't care, then you're f***ed. So you need to wake up and care.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
And it's that old expression, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. It's an old expression, but it makes sense. Because it doesn't mean that you can't be kind if you're strong. But it does mean you can't be strong if you're weak. If you're weak, you're f***ed.
You will go nowhere in life if you don't take risks. You will go nowhere in life if you don't stand up more than you fall.
The reality of masculinity is controlling your emotions. This is the reality of being a man. They try and say that men should give in and it's okay to cry, but I'm not saying you can never cry if something bad has happened to you. I'm saying that the tenets of masculinity since the dawn of time have been, I was afraid, but I did it anyway.
Yeah.
This is the tenets of masculinity. Courage.
Yeah.
That's what courage is.
Yep.
I was afraid to storm the beaches of Normandy, but I did it anyway.
When you have faced that man in the mirror, and you have dealt with the yesterdays, and you have dealt with everything, and you have held the funeral, and you have buried the past, and you have buried the you that was that man in the past, that is no longer you. And so do not destroy yourself over a man that no longer exists. All right? You got to move on. You got to move on.
Okay. When I'm sitting there and saying to men, look, life as a man is shit, it's always been shit. It's never been good. When men wake up and say, I'm depressed and life is hard and I'm sad and I'm struggling right now, I say, okay, throughout history, men have always struggled. Happiness is for children and women. Name a time in history it was better to be a man. Was it better to be a man in World War II? Was it better to be a man on the Titanic? Was it better to be a man in the Napoleonic Wars? Was it better to be a man when you were sitting in Vienna and the Mongol horde arrived, ready to decapitate any male and enslave all the females? When's it ever been good to be a man? Building the pyramids, was that fun? It's always fucked. The only time being a man ever is good is if you become an exceptional man.